Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a story time from my youth. I'm only 20 now, but this is going to be a story time video from when I was in grade 11. So this is a story from when I was around 16 years old, and it's about how I tried, once again, I feel like I'm always trying to scheme my parents instead of just like being upfront. Today's video is going to be about basically how I tried to kick my parents out of their own house so I could have a party at my house. Now, yeah, I feel like my stories make me sound like this really sneaky kid, but I really wasn't that sneaky, and I just want to kind of preface this by saying that throughout high school, I was a really anxious, person. If you followed me throughout the years or kind of know a little bit about my story, I used to be very, very overweight, and then I lost weight, and I suffered from social anxiety. Losing weight did help with my social anxiety, but I was very socially anxious for most of my high school career, and grade 11, when I was 16 years old, was pretty much the year that I finally felt secure in my skin. I felt confident. I started making friends. I started going to parties. I kind of came out of my shell. And if you want to know more about that story, then definitely check out my weight loss like before and after, because I do kind of go more into it. Currently, I'm not friends with some of the people mentioned in this story. It wasn't like a hookup crew, but like everyone had their designated like partner. It wasn't a partner. Like everyone had their person that they kind of had a thing with. And so like whenever we'd be at parties, like everyone had their little thing, whatever. I don't know if this is making any sense, but like my friend A had a boyfriend. I was kind of like but like hooking up with this guy. Other friend was like hooking up with this other guy, and so on and so forth. So everyone kind of had their designated guy. Sierra would have parties at her house, and this was around May, because I remember wearing my Softy shorts to where we ended up going. I think it was a long weekend, and my friends and I decided that we wanted to have a little bonfire and get together at my house. And my parents are really, really cool. Well, you haven't really met my mom, but you've met my dad in videos, and you know that they're pretty cool. Like we have parties, like we do shots with my parents. Like they're really cool people because they trust us. Family's Greek, so if we wanted to have a sip of wine or a little glass of wine with dinner when we were like 16, my parents really weren't opposed to it. And personally, that's how I want to parent my children. I feel like if you hold your kids on too tight of a leash, then that's when they want to break free and go wild. I had friends in high school whose parents wouldn't let them wear thongs, wouldn't let them do anything, and those kids were the ones that were given, blowjobs in the school stairwell. My parents, they just kind of trusted us to make the right decisions. They had taught us from a young age. My dad had been in the bar industry since I was very, very young, so I had never really had a huge desire to drink alcohol. I still don't. You guys know this. That particular day, my friends and I decided we wanted to have a get-together in my house. I was like, you know what? I am going to come up with a scheme, and I will have a little get-together at my house. Looking back, I really should have just like asked my mom if I could have people over, because she definitely would have said yes. I actually had people over, so I should have just like been upfront and honest, but at that time I was like, no, I want to do it with no parents. So this is the scheme that my friend, well, my then friend, and I decided to come up with. So keep in mind, we're 16, we don't have licenses, and I live in an area, it's very wooded. I live around golf courses, and the closest like dépanneur or corner store, 7-Eleven, is pretty far away. So since I didn't have my license, we decided, since it was a nice day, that we were gonna walk all the way to the dépanneur. Why did I decide to do this, you may ask? We decided in our minds that we are going to buy MasterCard gift cards to book my parents a room at a hotel. That was our big master plan. So off we go on that like super long walk to the corner store, and we buy the MasterCard gift cards because at 16 I did not have a credit card, and I bought those gift cards. I bought like, I don't know how many gift cards I bought, but I bought gift cards enough to buy like a hotel room. So I get home, and my mom is very good at knowing when something's up. So I buy those gift cards, and I go home, and I put in a little card. No, I didn't even do that. I went online and I bought the hotel room. I reserved the hotel room for that night, and then I gave my mom a paper basically of the hotel confirmation, and she looks at it and she's like, what is this? Like, why are you buying like a hotel room for your father and I? And I was like, well, I just thought you guys might want like a little nice getaway, like you could just go to a hotel and relax and be alone. And she's like, no, like, why did you do this? Like, there has to be a reason. Like, why would you go and book a hotel room? So we went to the dépanneur, and while we were there, we decided to buy, bags of firewood and kindling so we could make a bonfire, because we were very convinced that this whole scheme was gonna work. My friend at the time was like the same kind of size as me, so obviously two little 5'3" girls are not gonna be carrying huge bags of firewood home, so I'm like, you know what, I'll call a taxi. So we call a taxi, put our firewood in the trunk, and when we get home, I'm like, okay, well, well, we better hide the firewood because if she sees the firewood, she's gonna know something's up. So we hide the firewood by the side gate near the water tank. And it's also near like one of the gates to get into the house, like the backyard. So we put all the firewood and everything like by the side gates, and I think my uncle had come over and he brought his dog, and so my mom went to the back gate to open it. And as she opens it, she sees all this firewood. So then she calls me down. She's like, okay, you're gonna tell me the real reason why you bought your father and I a hotel room? And you know the look in your parents' eyes when you're like, they know the jig is up. So I was like, well, I was planning on having some people over and I just didn't think you'd say yes, so I tried to get you out of the house. I was just honest. And she was like, I really can't believe you did that. I don't remember what her reaction was. She was just like, you're too much, like that's not okay, like you should not be doing that. Like she didn't say it like that. I don't remember the exact words, but she probably wasn't very happy because that was kind of conniving and like schemish of me, and I shouldn't have done that. But I don't know why I didn't just ask. She let me have people over that night regardless of the stunt that I tried to pull, so I don't know why I didn't just come out and ask. And yeah, so that's pretty much the story of how I tried to scheme my parents into kicking them out of their own house to have a party with my friends. Something I'm not very proud of, and I sound like all my story times are just super schemish and conniving, but I swear I'm not that kind of person. So yeah, at least with my mom, I mean, that's like the first time I slept at Mike's house. I lied, and she just knew, like a maternal instinct. So I don't know, at least my mom has a very strong maternal instinct and she knows when I'm trying to hide something or not being honest. So yeah, I ended up having many parties at my house and my mom was always really cool about it. So that is my story. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I conveyed the story well. But let me know if you guys like these storytime videos. I know you liked my last one and wanted to hear another one. So here is another story of how I was just very sneaky, and don't be like me, just ask. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night depending on when you watch this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.